Hey, Tony Gaskins here. I want to talk to you now about dealing with rejection. I saw I had that on my list of questions that somebody submitted on the comment section, but I also got that question last night from someone asking for their friend. Now you got to think about this, and it really applies to every area of life. You have to understand when you look at rejection, for one, you cannot take it personal because you don't really understand what's on the other side of what you were pursuing. So when it comes down to a relationship, if a person does not choose you, and whether it's a woman not choosing a man or a man not choosing a woman, what you have to realize is what that means is that person is saying, I don't have the capacity to love you. I don't have the maturity to love you. I don't have the understanding to love you. If I accept you, if I get with you, I will hurt you. I will mistreat you. I will waste your time. So when a person rejects you, what you call rejection, that is really your protection, your redirection. And like I said last night when I hit you with that, it is not your reflection. See, a lot of times we look at it and we take it personal and we say, oh, it must be something wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong for you. What you have to understand is that not everybody is for you. Not everybody is for you. All the time I get calls about being on TV shows. Hey, Tony, we want to interview you, consider you for this show. This show going to be on ABC or NBC, and we want you to be one of the coaches on there, one of the life coaches on there, or dating coaches on there. And I talk to them, and I listen to them, and I may do the interview, and I may never hear back. And guess what? When I first started doing it, the first couple times, I would take that personal. Like, oh, man, I'm too country. Oh, I'm too dumb. Oh, it's because I don't have, a college degree. But then I start to recognize and realize, and I shift my mindset. And I started to say, you know what? I ask God that if it's for me, let it be. And if it's not, let it slip through my grasp. And give me the power not to worry about it. The peace not to worry about it. So I started to realize is that not every space is large enough for me. Not every space is on the level that I'm on. And so, to be honest with you, I shift my mindset to say, you know what? They realize that I need my own show, not to be one of four, one of five coach. I need my own show. They realize that if they bring me on there, I'm finna break the budget because they're going to have to come out the pocket way more than that $2,500 that they want to pay. They're going to have to break bread. They realize that if I come on there, it's going to be mine. You hear me? So I had to shift my mindset. And yeah, you got to big yourself up. Yeah, you talking to yourself. Now, because I'm telling you, but I'm telling you what you got to be able to say to yourself. When it comes down to a relationship, a job, promotion, a friendship, anything, you have to understand that you are not being rejected. You're being protected and you're being redirected, but you are not being rejected. You can't accept that as rejection because someone does not need or want the value that you bring. I can't even say that they don't see the value that you bring because they could see your value, but they may feel unworthy of it. And I remember one time a guy, casting director, he told me, he said, man, I'm going to be honest with you. Man. We really need to be looking to see about getting you your own show. He said, because they got your name on the list as one of the date coaches, but you way bigger than the main star they got on the show. And he was like, so I really don't understand this. He said, I hadn't heard of you until now, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, they need to be giving you the show instead of the woman they're giving the show. That's essentially what he said. And I said, you know what? Okay, yeah. All right. And I basically let him know, like, I really ain't no sidekick. I really ain't no sidekick, especially to somebody who ain't proven out here in the field like I am. I kind of let them know that, like, yeah, you're going to have a problem on the set with me. If you got this person right here, they don't know what they talking about, and they giving bad advice on love and relationships, you're going to hear it from me. So I pretty much let them know. So that's what you got to understand. It's certain spaces. The reason why a man turn down certain women is because he sensed and he realized this woman ain't going to be with that foolishness. This woman here, if I step out of line, she going to check me. This woman here, she going to be woman enough to leave me. This woman here, I can marry her. We could have a home together. We could have kids together, all of that. But when I cheat on her, she taking half, she up out of there. A lot of times a man will pass on a woman like that because he realizes that she is not going to put up with his crowd. She is not going to put up with the bull. And so what happens is a woman will look at another woman and say, well, how did she get a man? How is she married? You don't know what she signed up for. You don't know what she dealing with. You don't know what that man putting her through. So if you know that woman and you know that she's not classy, and you know that she errs more on the side of trashy than classy, but yet she got a husband, yet she got a man, he could be in there doing all kind of stuff to her, and she dealing with it. She putting up with it, and that's why he chose her, because he know that he could lay on the couch, play video games while she get up and go work 40 to 60 hours a week, and she take care of all the bills while he talking about he want to be a basement rapper. He knows that. He knows that he could drive her car. He could get into an apartment or a house on her name, on her credit. He knows that. But see, when it comes down to you, he know that you're going to require that a man up, that a man be a real man, that a man is a grown man, not a grown boy, that a man has ambition, that a man gets a job and keeps a job. And if he lose the job, he get another job the next day. And that you're going to require that he talk to you with respect, that he's thorough, that he's faithful, trustworthy, honest, can communicate, all of the above. So when he sat down and he looked at you, and he felt your energy, he felt your vibe, or he had a date with you, or y'all talked for 3 months, 6 months, a year, and then he sabotaged the relationship, you were not rejected. He realized that you were on another level that he just cannot get on. He's not ready to be on that level. That's totally different. See, if you didn't cheat on a person, do them bad, and they move on with their life, they move on from you, that's not rejection. That's not rejection. Now see, if you cheated on them and they have a reason to leave, now that's rejection. They're rejecting you because you a cheater, because you a liar, because you controlling. Now you being rejected because you immature and you're not on their level. But when you've done nothing wrong to hurt this person, to dog them out, mistreat them, and they leave, that is not rejection. So you got to reframe your mind. You got to look at this thing differently. It's essentially them saying, listen, I can't handle all that you bring to the table. I don't have room in my life to fit you in my life because you command so much authority and so much space in the heart that I can't bear to be with you. I need somebody who's going to be a little less. I need somebody who's going to put up with more, have a little less self-esteem, a little less self-respect, a little less dignity. That's what's happening when a lot of times we say, oh, I've been rejected. And I hear it all the time from women. Men, of course, are not really going to talk about it. And a lot of times when a man, gets rejected, he more so may understand why. It's because he lied, because he cheated, because he did something, and a woman finds the strength to walk away. And sometimes it may be because he feels like he's unattractive to her and she wants a man that's more attractive or taller or something like that. But even in that case, that man has to understand that's not rejection, because that woman would have been, who has those type of standards and stipulations, oh, you need to look like this for me, you need to have this height. If she would have got with him, she would have been savage hearted with him. She would have treated him in a way that would have been unbecoming, and it would have broke him down even more and turned him into a monster for her. And the same thing what a woman has to realize, a man may have a preference. And he says, okay, like on the question I got on the live Q&A, the person asked, and said, hey, my friend is dark skinned, but the men she like women that's light skinned. And now that was the question. And she feels rejected because of that. And I say, if a man has a preference that is based on skin complexion inside of the same race or what have you, then that man is so lost and immature that that woman was actually just protected from an idiot. So who says I want light skin instead of dark skin? Now, if he said I want to be with a black woman instead of a white woman, and he is a black man, then he could be thinking about societal issues, like I don't want my children to be called names or to have to deal with a different type of racism, or I don't want the social implications that come with it, the ramifications from society. But if you're talking about inside the same race or ethnicity or what have you, and he says I want a light skin instead of a dark skin, that is a preference, and that is stupid, because that does not make a person. How they're born, they don't get to choose that. So it don't make a person, even when outside of a race. That doesn't make a person. Now, it could be other, implications. So there is a difference. If you date outside of your race, you can get some discrimination and some treatment that you will not get if you dating in your race, but you dating a dark-skinned woman instead of a light-skinned woman, or a light-skinned woman instead of a dark-skinned woman. You're not going to be mistreated based on, think about this, the Ku Klux Klan, they're not mad at you if you a black man and your wife is a darker-skinned black woman, or if your wife is a light-skinned black woman. The Ku Klux Klan ain't mad at you about that. Now, you go get, as a black man, and you get you a white woman, now the supremacists and all that, now they got a different issue with the both of y'all. You see what I mean? So when a man has a preference that is baseless, that is senseless, that has no ramifications, and he just choosing off of a preference, that is because when he looks in the mirror, he doesn't like his color. When he looks in the mirror, he doesn't like his race. He don't like his own skin color. And he has been programmed to believe that this particular skin color inside of this race is less than or less attractive. Then that's when he is a victim of that societal programming. And that's when he accepts that mindset, he is ignorant. He is immature. So to be passed up on by a man because he says, oh, I want a woman who is this weight instead of that weight. I want a woman who is this complexion instead of that complexion. This height instead of that height. He missing the whole point. He lost and confused. He's immature. That man gonna take you through so much. If you did end up with him, he'll take you through so much drama and pain. You will wish you would have never met him. So see, you got to understand what you sitting and you take as rejection, saying, oh, I'm not, fit enough. I'm not light enough. I'm not dark enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not short enough. I'm not successful enough. You taking that as rejection and not realizing that you actually just dodged a bullet, that you actually just dodged someone who would have been vindictive, controlling, domineering, manipulative, all of those things because of their ignorant mindset. They're looking for a toy. They're not looking for, the prize. They're not looking for the person that's going to love them and hold them accountable. They're looking for a toy. That's why they want the person to look a certain way and be a certain way, and they putting so much emphasis on that because they're looking for a trophy, an arm piece, a play toy that they can do what they want to do with, and that's what you have to realize and understand. So look at every aspect of your life. Look at your relationship when somebody done passed on you. And I can remember, being out there in the dating field and seeing certain women. I'm 5'10". So it's certain women, they want 6 foot or taller. But guess what? If a woman has a requirement of 6 foot or taller, then she's small-minded. Because a 5'10" man, a 5'9" man, 5'8" man could love you down, could love you treat you like a queen. Height don't matter. You lay down, y'all the same height. You still can make babies, still can raise kids. So a woman who has a height requirement, she's small-minded. She's thinking about a preference that has nothing to do with anything. So a man that's 6'6" and the woman 5'3", 5'8", 5'9", okay, he could look down on you, and guess what he also can do? He get more angle. He got more angle on you. Ugh. That's what he could do too. Guess what he also could do? It's so many small-minded women that is thinking, oh, he gotta be 6 foot or taller. So guess what? That means those men have the pick of the litter. They could have as many women as they want to. So while that woman is chasing a preference, guess what she running to? She running to damage. She running to a little devil. She running to a man who could have any woman he want to. So guess what he does? He juggling them. So you ask a lot of the women who had a preference, oh, I want a man 6 foot or taller. 9 out of 10 of them got cheated on by those men that they was chasing. Or I want a man who makes 6 figures or more. 9 out of 10 of them got cheated on because they were chasing a preference instead of looking at character. Instead of realizing that this 5'10" man, look how I'm 5'10", look how I treat my wife. My wife 5'8". So when she put on heels, she 5'11", 5'12". Yeah, I know it's 6 foot. 5'12". You hear me? Could put her arm on my shoulder. Could rest her arm. She can look at the top of my scalp, see where my hair thinning at. But guess what? She all right. She fine with it. She still put her heels on. And I used to ask her, I say, man, I know you got a problem with me being shorter than you, because I felt insecure about it, because always hearing women calling a 5'10" man short. Ooh, you short. And the woman will be 5'3". So I'm looking down at the lady and she's talking about, ooh, you short. And so that started to make a man insecure. And so yeah. And it's a lot of women who say, oh, well, I just don't want a man that's shorter than me, or a man that's not 6 foot, because the man might not even be shorter. I'm not shorter than my wife. I'm taller than my wife. But some women want a man that's X amount of inches taller than them, and because they say that represents security. I don't even feel right being taller than a man. I don't feel secure. I feel like if we get into a fight in public, I got to fight for him. And listen to that. Listen to that. That is one of the most ignorant things you ever heard, because you look at Floyd Mayweather, greatest boxer, one of the greatest boxers ever lived. This man 5'8". You look at Bruce Lee. This man looked like he probably was 5'8". One of the greatest martial arts fighters in the world. So what you think Bruce Lee gonna do to your 6'4" boyfriend? So you can't judge a man by that, by his height. You can't judge a man by his money, because you chasing money and you want 6 figures, but then he treats you like a dog. He treats you like a prostitute off the street because he got 9 other women just like you. They wanted the same thing, a man with 6 figures. So guess what? He gonna take all y'all. He got the pick of the litter. But if you got that man who he honest and he faithful to his job, but he got ambition, he got character, then guess what? And he making 30,000 because he a school teacher, but he working, he still working. He got dreams of being a principal and gonna be making 120,000. And you pass up on him because he making 35,000, and then 5-10 years later, you hurting and crying, broke, busted, and disgusted, looking like who shot John and forgot to kill him. And this man that you passed up on because he wasn't making the money you wanted him to make, now he making 6 figures. But the man that you went and got, your 6-figure man, been beating on you and cheating on you since the day you got with him. Now you walk around looking like a raccoon and going through and stressing and crying, and your eyes so dark up under there because you're crying all night. You can't hardly sleep. So now, and then you look at this man that you passed up, that man with character, that man with ambition. Guess what? Now he done made it. Now he done made it. Now he done made it. I remember being in high school, 9th grade, and I remember, wanting this girl, trying to date this girl, but her thing was older men. She wanted older men. She ended up cheating and dealing with the older men, older guys. I remember the older guy, I went over to a guy's house one time, older guy who was sleeping with her, gave me a picture of my girlfriend. Hey, here go a picture of your girlfriend. Know that's your girlfriend. He was doing that really out of disrespect. Like, hey, here you go. I done had her. I never did anything with her. I hadn't slept with her. I probably still was a virgin, 9th grade at that time. And that's what she wanted. She wanted older men. Guess what her life ended up taking her? Cheating on, getting cheated on, getting beat on, getting used. She ended up on drugs and stripping. End up on drugs and stripping. The older men that she wanted, older guys, ended up in prison. And now look at me today and the way I treat my wife and the man that she got and the earning and the life that we have. The peace, blessings, love, prosperity. Look at that. Now, you see what I'm saying? So now every single woman that looked at me and said, oh, he too short, oh, he my same age, I want a man 5 years older than me, 10 years older than me. Every woman that had that attitude, now what's happening? Now where they at, what they doing? You see what I'm saying? So that wasn't rejection. That wasn't rejection. That was protection, because what God was saying, listen, this woman right here that have these ridiculous preferences, inside of that woman is a drug addict and a stripper. That's not what I have for you. Now, okay, we ain't judging her with the drug and the stripping. That's her life. We ain't judging her. But that ain't what I got for you, my son, because I'm going to use you in a mighty way. I'm going to use you in a mighty way. So I need you to open your mind. Stop chasing women that don't want you. Stop chasing women that got all these height requirements and money requirements, complexion requirements, body type requirements. Stop chasing women who so focused on they preferences. And you got to see a woman the way I see her. Look at her heart. Is she kind? Is she honest? Is she faithful? Is she trustworthy? Is she diligent? Is she ambitious? And understand this, son. She might not have every little hump and bump you want on her. Okay, her booty might not be the size you want it to be. Her stomach might not be as flat as you want it to be. She might not be the exact height you would prefer her to be. But look at her heart. Judge her the way I judge her, by her heart. Because I'm her father, God. I don't care what her complexion is. I don't care what her height is. I don't care what her weight is. I don't care what her income is. I'm looking at her heart. So if you asking me for your wife, if you asking me for your husband, you got to look at them by their heart. Because if you asking me for your husband or your wife, but you judging them the way man judges them, the way human judges them, then you're going to miss who I have for you, because I'm not judging them based on height and weight and income. I'm judging them based on their heart, because I could see their future. This is what God's saying. I could see where they going. So my wife could have said, hey, I'm 5'8", you 5'10", that ain't gonna work. Hey, I'm a biomedical science major. I'm going on to touch hundreds of Ks. You're a criminal justice major. You're gonna be lucky if you make 60K. This ain't gonna work. She could have said that. My wife could have said, hey, I'm lighter complected. You darker complected. This ain't gonna work. I could have looked at my wife and said, hey, I'm from the South. You ain't got the booty that, the women I'm used to having. This ain't gonna work. I could have said, hey, I'm 5'10", you 5'8". When you put on heels, you're going to be an inch taller than me. This ain't going to work. I could have said, hey, I'm darker complected, you lighter complected. This ain't going to work. But we looked at the heart. We looked at the heart. And now guess what? There was men, I'm sure, who looked at my wife and said, oh, her stomach ain't flat as I want it to be. Her booty ain't big as I want it to be. Oh, this ain't good. Her eyes ain't the color I want them to be. There was stupid men with stupid preferences who passed up on a queen. There was stupid women with stupid preferences who passed up on a king. But because we came together and we saw each other, so that's what you got to realize. Don't worry about who passing up on you. Just be focused on who gonna see you. Be focused on who sees you. And make sure when you meet somebody who sees you, that you see them. What happens is you get quote unquote rejected, as you call it. Really, you being protected, but we're going to say rejected because you calling it rejected. You get rejected, and then you have the nerve, the audacity to meet somebody else and then reject them for the very reason you were rejected. So you get rejected. And I'm going to tell you, I'll be honest with you. Today, grown boys, and it's these grown boys, they stay single. It's so many grown boys, and I don't use that as a disrespectful term. What I'm meaning is that they're adult, but they immature in their mind. They think like a boy, like a teenage boy, because they don't understand what a wife is. They don't understand what makes up a wife. So these grown boys out here, I done talked to them, and they will literally say, well, yeah, I'm looking for my wife, but she gotta be like a, exotic look, and she gotta have long black hair. And so her skin has to kind of be like that in between olive, I call it olive, and she has to, like, racially ambiguous, and where you don't know if she Hispanic, you don't know if she black and white, you don't know if she mixed with other stuff, you don't know, Indian, black, and Mexican, you don't know what she is, and because she could be anything with that color. And she got to have long black hair, and her stomach has to be flat, all the way flat, nice round butt. She needs to be between the heights of 5'6" and 5'9". And guys literally, and her eyes need to be green, and she need to have an accent, and a foreign accent, like European or something. I literally hear guys say that, hey, she got to be like 5'6", and she got to be a light-skinned woman, whether that's Hispanic or a light-skinned black woman or a mixed woman. She got to have long hair. I needed to be built like a star volleyball player. That kind of butt, them kind of thighs, flat stomach. And that's literally what they're looking for. So guess what? They end up single. Because when they meet that woman, they realize this woman might be annoying. This woman might be ignorant. This woman might have her own set of standards because she been, looked at for her body and her looks her whole life. That didn't turn her into a savage because she realized that's all men see in her. So she like, if y'all gonna judge me by my looks, I'm gonna judge y'all by y'all looks and y'all height and your money. What can you do for me? You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like this. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. You look out here and you can look in the celebrity world. You can look in the celebrity world where you'll see grown men, grown boys, and they want this type of woman. That's light skin, green eyes, long hair, this certain type of look. But that woman, because she know that's how she look and she know that's what men want from her, she got her requirement. And her main thing might be money. Her main thing might be money. Like, look, I don't care how ugly he is. I don't care how big his lips is. I don't care how thick that mustache is with them big lips. I don't care if he got fake teeth, dentures. Does he make tens of millions? If he make tens of millions, okay, cool, we'll do it. He ain't on my level looks wise, but he make tens of millions. Or she might be like, okay, I look like this right here. This man want me because I look like this right here. I need him to have millions of dollars. I don't care if he 5'4". I don't care if he the same color. If he look like 12:01 a.m. midnight o'clock. I don't care if that's his skin tone. I don't care if he not funny. Does he got money? He ain't got to be funny if he got money. And that's what she look at. And so guess what? He had his ignorant preferences. She had her ignorant preferences. So then guess what? They get together and they a disaster made in. You hear me? And it's a disaster waiting to happen. Next thing you know, you hearing about cheating. You hearing about these scandals. You hearing about this. You hearing about that. You hearing about all this going on. And the reason why is because they chose based on just their preferences. So understand that this video is multiple videos in one. This is a lesson on preferences and standards. This is a lesson on how to pick your partner. But then it's also a lesson on dealing with rejection. So you just have to reframe your mind. You got to look at it in a different way. You got to shift your perspective, and you got to look and you got to realize I was not rejected. I was protected. Because if I would have got what I thought I wanted, it would have been a disaster. And that's oftentimes what happens when people chase after what they want instead of what they need. You need to be praying for what you need, not for what you want. And when you get what you need, then you're going to appreciate and you're going to start to want what you got. When you get what you need, you're going to fall in love because your needs are met. And then you're going to appreciate what you got. Because everybody who done got in a relationship, a healthy and happy relationship, made some concessions. They had to compromise some of their preferences. 99% of the time, they had to compromise some of their preferences. But that is growth. That is maturity. Because your preferences, those things don't define a person. Yeah, it might be cute. Yeah, it might be nice. But you got to look at the root of it. Who told you that was good? Who told you that was nice? That's what society did. But society ain't got to live in your house. Society don't care nothing about you getting divorced. Society don't care nothing about you getting beat on, cheated on, and disrespect. Society don't care nothing about that. So they chose what you looking for, your preferences. They chose that look to go in a movie because that's entertainment. That's Hollywood. That's fake. That's a character in a movie. That's a model in a magazine. That's not a mate for life. That character don't come to life. You see what I'm saying? And so we start to look at certain heights, weights, shapes, and incomes because we see that praised and promoted online and in the media, in the movies and the magazines. And so we become attracted to that. But that's a character. That's an image. That's a celebrity. That's a muse. That's not somebody for you to marry. Because that person in real life is different than what you see in the movies and the magazines. And I remember coaching one of my celebrity clients. And I've been a celebrity coach since 2010 now. So it's been a decade that I've been dealing on that other side of in that world. It's a different world. But I remember coaching one of my celebrity clients, and she said, Tony, men love the idea of me, the fantasy of me. But then they can't handle the reality of me. So they see me from the magazines and the movies and the TV screens. But then when they get with me in real life, I'm a real person. I'm a real woman that do real things. And that's different than their fantasy. And I'm like, wow. And that's why so many relationships break down. That's why so many relationships don't have a real connection, because you choose your preferences based off of the media and the music and the movies. You choose your preferences based off of that, because that is shown to you as this is attractive, this is successful, this is where you need to be, this is what you want. So you choose your preferences based off of that, not realizing that you trying to dictate your reality based off of a fantasy. You trying to dictate real life based off of fiction. Now see, art imitates life. Life should not imitate art. So that art, that movie, that magazine, all of this right here that you see tall, dark, and handsome, or, slim and sexy, whatever it may be, that's art. That's the movies, that's the models, that's the magazines, that's the music videos, that's art. You should not try to rewrite your life based on the art that you're watching. Listen to it. Think about it. Get down to it. Get down to it. Who come up with your preferences? Who come up with your preferences? When I was coming up, I was young, certain type of booty, certain shape of a booty. If a woman got a flat back, it almost make me throw up in the mouth. But then I had to realize, where did this shape of the booty come from? That make me like that. It's because I looked up to the rappers. I looked up to the rappers. Those were the cool guys with the swag. Rappers had videos. Videos had big booty video vixen in bathing suits. Remember Nelly with tip drill? So they praised the big booty that could. So as the rest of the world, the rest of the men that want to be that man because he got all the money, he got all the girls, they get in our head. You can't do that. What you want her for? Then the rappers started taking the racially ambiguous women. They wouldn't use, no sister with this here color. That's this here color. They start taking a woman that you don't know if she Hispanic, she whatever. So then a lot of men started looking at that and saying, okay, if that's what the rapper with the Bentley and the Maserati and the all this here Rolls Royce, if that's what he got, that's what I want. So it really ain't even the man. The man is not racist or anything like that. He just looking up to who he want to be, and that's what's getting the love in the music videos, and that's what's getting the love in the movies. You remember like Denzel and what's her name, Rosie O'Dawson or Rosie Perez or Paula Patton. You got Paula Patton, Rosie O somebody. You got J-Lo. P. Diddy made J-Lo. So that look right there. Okay. So when you look at these movies, you have this star role, but then you have this woman who may be racially ambiguous. Now, Hollywood did it because they say, listen, because she this color, the Asians who could be, prejudiced sometimes toward darker skinned people, just like what we see they doing in China right now, putting signs up on the wall saying black people can't come in. So because the Asians could be prejudiced, because Hispanics could be prejudiced, because blacks could be prejudiced, because whites could be prejudiced, let's get this look of a woman who you don't know if she half white, you don't know if she Hispanic, you don't know if she half Asian, racially ambiguous. So they started bringing them in. Now, if it's a certain role they want you to play a light-skinned black woman, they can have her play a light-skinned black woman. If a certain role they want you to play a Hispanic woman, they can have her play a Hispanic woman. Certain role they want you to play a half Asian woman, they can have her play a half Asian woman. You see what I mean? But they started to do that, so men seeing this as the star role. So then they like, okay, that's what I want. Then a woman, she watching, she looking at the TV, and the camera angle make everybody look tall. So all the men essentially look 6'2" to 6'4", when in real life they might be 5'6" to 5'10". So women start saying, I want a tall man. Then you look at who got the most money, who got the most clout, who world renowned. Michael Jordan, world renowned, 6'6". Shaquille O'Neal, world renowned, 7'1". LeBron James, world renowned, 6'8". Kevin Durant, world renowned, 6'10", 6'11". God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant, world renowned, 6'6". So you see what I mean? So women start to see this, and then they start to see, okay, tall. Then they start to see money. So when you look at your preferences, what you're gonna realize is that your preferences is rooted. Your preferences is rooted in what you saw on the music and television. That's not a biological preference. That's not a biological preference. Now, yes, we could try to say this, all this, and y'all with y'all, whatever word y'all be using, hedonism, no, hypergamy, which is basically hedonism. I don't even know what neither one of them mean, but it's foolish. That's what I'm trying to say. So, but that's not biological. And then some people say, oh, women always pursue the most powerful man, It wasn't that a woman just gonna pursue the most powerful man. It's that she saw the man with the power got the money and got to say so. And that's what she attracted to. But the man with no money and no societal power, no political power, no status in the community, could break down and fold that man up who got the power and the money. Could protect you way more. And then with that woman's support, that man could go on and produce to be the greatest. And that's what a lot of times we don't realize. And we knock dating potential. We knock dating potential. And people, and see, this is the thing. We base our life based off of mean. So somebody say, I ain't dating potential. Guess what? If a person don't got potential, then what is you dating? What is you dating? If somebody ready-made, then they don't need you. You need to be dating potential. But what you got to understand is what potential means. You got to understand what potential means. See, potential will produce. It's not potential if a person got something in them, but they ain't doing nothing about it. They don't have work ethic. They don't have ambition. They're not trying to be better. That's not potential. People say, I don't date potential. And they talking about somebody who will not work, won't stop cheating, won't grow up, won't mature. That's not potential. They already chose to be sorry. See, potential is somebody who they got character, they got class, they got ambition, but they just may not be where they want to be. They may be on their way. He may be the school teacher, but he want to be the principal. But he not going out getting drunk, getting DUIs. He's studying, he working, he getting his master's, gonna get his doctorate. He want to be the principal. He has potential. Ain't nothing wrong with dating potential. If potential is producing. See, if potential is not producing, then it's no longer potential. Understand that now. Understand that that might went over somebody's head. You got to rewind it. You got to understand where I'm going. Stop basing your life off of memes and movies. Stop basing your decisions that you're making in life off of memes and movies. And then calling it your philosophy, and calling it biology, calling it, oh, this been this since the beginning of time. You read that in a book. You read that in a book that told you that's the natural selection of humans. That's the natural selection in the animal kingdom. You read that in a book. You don't know that. You ain't lived out there. You wasn't in Jungle Book. You ain't live out there with the animals. You don't know how they select. You watching National Geographic, and the camera's telling you a story. You don't know why that female lion chose that male lion. You don't know what they did. But you going off based on what you read. So then you come in your life and say, hey, this even happened in the animal kingdom. The woman, the female animal try to choose the most powerful, most successful male animal. So this natural. I'm a mammal and I'm a human. So I want to choose the most successful man that I could choose. That's ignorant. So on any side, on either side, if you're a man or if you're a woman, if you have been rejected, as y'all will call it, by someone, don't lose no sleep. Change your mindset, change your perspective and say, you know what? I was not rejected. I was just redirected and protected. And I'm glad that that person didn't choose me because they don't deserve me. And that's basically what they were telling me, that they too ignorant to see my value, or They don't have the capacity to deal with my value. Their table ain't big enough for me to sit at their table because they too small-minded, too trivial, too petty. You hear what I'm saying? You got to change your mindset. Now, because when you, and understand this now, this when you right and you doing right. This when you a good person, good-hearted, treat people with respect, and you doing right. It's rejection when somebody leaves you because you ignorant, you rude, you nasty, you a liar, you're a cheater. That's when you get, that's rejection. When you're not a good person and somebody leaves you because you're not a good person. When somebody leaves you because of one of their preferences, that's not rejection. So, hey, I hope that makes sense to you. I tried to say it a million different ways because, boy, look here. People find one. So, Tony, yeah, what you were saying about the animal kingdom, that actually is true in Animal Kingdom, according to National Geographic and the study of such and such. And it's like, listen, the video not about that, okay? This video about rejection. Oh, yeah, Tony, what you were saying about scoliosis in the back. Listen, the video not about that, okay? Hey, I be getting some of the craziest. And then some people is going to my website to email me they argument. So yeah, right here at minute 17:08, you said, it's like, if you don't get out my inbox with this foolishness and take your butt somewhere and get the meaning of the message. I said, wow. Hey, so for y'all who listen and try to understand and try to, chew the meat, spit out the bones, get what's for you, what's not for you, let it go. Thank you so much. Thank you. You just don't understand how much you are appreciated. I appreciate you. Because your contemporaries, adversaries, or whatever they may be, be trying to work my nerve. A lady, when I was talking about the video, where I say grown boys looking for that RN money. And the reason why I said RN money, because when you come from the hood, all of the women, they go, if they want to make it and be successful, they trying to be a RN. So you be a CNA, then you be a LPN, then you try to be a RN. So grown boys have heard RN. So grown boys going for the RN because they done heard, like, a grown boy think, ooh, that's the pinnacle. A grown boy don't know what a nurse practitioner is. A grown boy don't know what a physician's assistant is. Not a grown boy from where I'm from. Now, a grown boy out there come from another area, he knows what that is. And that's who he looking for. He looking for the surgeon. He looking for the doctor. So it was so many women got butt hurt because they are a LPN. And I say a grown boy looking for RN money, not LPN money. Hey, LPN money, keep working now. He want an RN. Clearly sarcasm. Clearly a joke. But because we sensitive, because we live in the age of outrage, now all the RNs found it funny. They probably would have been mad if they was an LPN. All the LPNs emailing me. Oh, you know what? I do not respect you talking about LPN. When it should have been, you should have been happy, be like, yes, grown boy, looking for an RN. Congratulations. I might stay a LPN a little longer. I might be an LPN the rest of my life. And then the LPN want to flex their paycheck. I make $50 an hour. It's like, really? Are you competing for the attention of the grown boy? I'm saying the grown boy going after RN for her money and her money only. And you mad that you were LPN and you not seen as enough money for the grown boy. Listen to yourself. That's what you got hung up on. That's what you got hung up on. How they say, don't miss the forest for the trees. It's like, come on now, y'all. Come on now. Come on now. When you see somebody out here with a heart of service trying to get a gain, and then you let the devil get in you, that's what you got to understand, the attack of the enemy. See, when you get this here message in your spirit, it's going to break chains. It's going to break chains in your life. It's going to set you free. So you got to understand the attack of the enemy. What the enemy want to do is get you hung up on one thing that did not mean nothing, so that you can miss the rest of the message. And then get you so burnt up in your spirit that you going and emailing in about it. So you done took more time out your day when you could have been going from being an LPN to an RN with the time that you spent to send an email, with the time that you sent to get in the comments. You could have been studying for that next test you want to take. Okay? Because I know you don't want to be complacent. I know you want to keep climbing the ladder. I know a lady who was an RN, and she went on to be a nurse practitioner and then to a physician's assistant or what have you. Went from the 40, 60, 80 of a LPN, no, of a RN, climbed to the top of that, and then went on up, physician's assistant or nurse practitioner, one of them, and now I'm making well over 100. Moved to a prestigious hospital. So why are you sending an email outraged about a joke? You could have been studying. You see what I'm saying? Don't let one thing that step on your toe make you miss the whole message. Now I had to address that in here, use the rest of my little time. So some of y'all, only a certain select people gonna get to this point. And ironically, the people who looking to critique watch more of the video than the people who fully agree. Because the people who fully agree, they get what they get and might be gone about their business. The people who looking to critique. And that's just the sad world we live in. And that's what a lot of times y'all don't understand about creators. And when you out here trying to serve and you trying to give, the devil gonna send so many people. The devil gonna send so many people to try to nitpick and try to attack you verbally and try to cause rifts and cause confusion and try to be petty and try to, make an issue out of nothing because something stepped on their toes, because something offended them. He gonna send so many people like that because with each person, it's draining. It's draining. And then with the audience says, pay it no mind, but you ain't got to deal with it. Don't ignore the haters. Don't address haters. Don't address it, but you ain't got to deal with it. So it's easy to say in the comment what not to do when you don't have a platform, when you haven't tried to build a platform, and you don't know what it's like to be given from your heart and then to be attacked over petty nonsense. So it's easy to say ignore the haters. People always say that. But I respect the people that speak on it. And that's why I speak on it. Because when you speak on it, you releasing it. And you letting them know, hey, I see you. I ain't scared of you. I ain't changing. I'm finna do me. You gonna get this work. Over and over and over. You gonna get this work. So I'm here. So when people say don't address it, essentially what you telling that person is to internalize it. So now when they internalize it, it eats them up and it corrodes their spirit. No, I'm going to call it out. Satan, get thee behind me, like Jesus did. Jesus could have just listened to what Peter said or whoever that was and just internalized it, just swallowed it. Oh yeah, he right. I really don't have to do this. I really don't have to go give my life for the people. He got a point. Jesus could have did that. But he said, Satan, get thee behind me. He called it out. So me, I'm going to call it out. You know what I mean? I'm going to call it out and tell you stop being petty. Stop being petty and get the message. Stop trying to, people get so focused looking for the mistake that they miss the whole message. That's the world we living in. We live in the age of outrage. Miss the whole message looking for a mistake, looking for somewhere you could critique, looking for something to get offended by, because you don't want to get this truth, because you don't want to get this work. You're looking for something to get offended by. Oh, well, I am a 5'10" woman, so I need a 6'6" man because I'm 5'10". No, you don't. No, you don't. What is his height gonna do for you? Is his height gonna love you? Is his height gonna impregnate you? Is his height gonna be a good father? Is his height gonna provide? No. His height ain't got nothing to do with him as a man. You have a 5'2" man and still have love, still reproduce, still have a good father, still have a good husband. Height ain't got nothing to do with it. That's your preference. Point blank period. Point blank period. I don't care if you 7 foot. Point blank period. That's your preference. That is what it is. See, we look for stuff to get offended by, because the truth hurt. So the LPNs that got upset, it's because that made them feel inadequate, that the grown boy want the RN. So now they're like, once again, I'm inadequate. Even a grown boy doesn't want me. He wants the RN for her money. So that's how she felt. So then she want to lash out. You know what? I do not respect you for attacking LPNs. Do not attack LPNs. We are the only ones out here doing the work. We are in here sweating. We are taking care of these COVID patients. We are doing all the work. We deserve more praise. We deserve to be desired by the grown boy. Do not look down on us because a grown boy wants an RN and not us. And I'm like, ma'am, that was one sentence out of 1,000 sentences in a 60-minute video. And that's what you got hung up on. You got to learn how to laugh at yourself. So see, when you get into the right place in your heart, when somebody coming with a pure heart and they say something, you are not looking for it to offend you, because you know the messenger, because you know where it's coming from, because you able to say, well, I know the person ain't trying to hurt me or be disrespectful because of what they do and how much they give. So let me understand what this here mean. So then when your heart is in the right place, then you're going to be like, hey, okay, all right. He want an RN? Go right ahead. I'm an LPN. My bill paid. I'm glad he ain't trying to come over here and live off of me. Go ahead. Hey, RN sister. Hey, congratulations with your grown boy. A grown man gonna see my value. Woo! You see what I'm saying? When your heart in the right place, you could laugh at yourself. But when you still operating from pain, when you still operating from bitterness, when you still operating from your own set of preferences, when you still operating from immaturity, oh my goodness, no, he did not just disrespect LPNs and the hard work that we do and the sacrifices we make in this situation of this pandemic and all the work that we're doing, and then he wants to praise our ends. Oh my goodness. You see what I'm saying? Come on now. You got to check yourself. You got to check yourself. You got to get over yourself. You got to get past that. You got to stop taking offense to everything and ain't nobody even talking to you about you. You know what I'm telling you? Because when you operating like that, you're going to be blocking your blessings. You're going to be blocking your blessings. Now, see, me, it's different because you come to me. You bring it to my doorstep. See, when I said that, I ain't say your name. I ain't talking about you, but you bring it to my doorstep, to my comments, to my email. So now you done went out your way to get offended and then try to bring some correction to sarcasm, to something that ain't had nothing to do with you. Hey, y'all think about this now holistically. This video here touched on a lot today. If you got to this point, put in the comment, be blessed. I made it. I just want to know who, just the 3-4 people that's getting a full message. Because if ain't enough people getting out here to this point, I'm going to start doing 7-minute videos, 10-minute videos, saving me some time. Hey, this is Tony Gaston. God bless you. We'll talk soon.